So I've got the new box of the compressor in home. I have already opened it at work just to check it was in fact a compressor and not a box full of kittens, and it turned out it was. There she is. Okay, that is most definitely a wheel, quite heavy duty. Once we got another wheel, I suspect this has fallen out of this corner here. It's identical. Look into the other one. Right, how am I going to get this out of the box in one piece? I'll put the camera down. Hang on a sec. I wonder. That makes life easier. Now we're talking. That's a lump. Each of the bags that came out first out of the box contained one wheel, 2 bolts, I don't know if you can see those or not, there we go, 2 bolts, small one and a big one, and a rubber bung which goes at the front of the compressor and isolates some of the vibration. I haven't checked the connectors, but I believe they are Euro style. Yeah, they are. It's nice and positive. Lovely. Very good. The website says that it may well need topping up with oil, and that they can't guarantee that it comes full, but according to the site gauge, it looks like there is oil in there. General first impressions seem very good. It is considerably bigger than my little compressor in the corner. This one is substantially bigger at 50 litres as opposed to 25 litres. It looks well made, although I suspect that it's generic. You see a lot of identical looking compressors out there, all around about the same price mark. I think I paid £119 for this one. Which is about the going rate as far as I can tell. I think you can get them a few quid cheaper by other brands, but these had good reviews, and SGS had good reviews as a company. I noticed there's a little bit of transit damage on the sticker, but we're not going to get precious about that. So yeah, overall impressions look good. So I am going to finish by fitting the air filter which plugs into this little cap here. We take the cap out and put it in there, and the oil filler plug which comes in here. And then I think we're ready to fire it up for a test. The bag of goodies, which include the air filter. I'll open that up in a minute and we'll have a look at it. And also in the bag is the red oil filler bung, which I'll do first. Ow! That is in tight, which is probably a good thing for transit, but it's in tight. Come on you. Come on. Alright, difficult to do whilst holding the camera. One moment. Well, that seems to be it. It's as far as it wants to go in. Okay, quick tug and the lid comes off, and what looks like a fairly decent air filter. Much better than the thing that's on my previous compressor. So it has like a sticky band around the top, which I guess seals top and bottom. Air filter cap, that came out a lot easier than its oil filler cap brethren. The end of the air filter is screw threaded, so this just screws in. This curious rubber sheet came in the bag with the air filter and the oil filler cap. And there was no mention of it in the instructions, but on the exploded diagram of all the various parts, it's shown as a gasket that sits between this front plate here and the rest of the machine. So who knows what it's for? Perhaps if anyone knows, if they can let me know, that'd be fantastic. So I'm just going to flick the switch and see what happens. So it's stopped right on the red 8 bar mark, which is nicely calibrated. I'm going to leave it for a minute just to sit, make sure there's no air leaks. It's quite quiet compared to my smaller compressor, which makes a right old racket. Not to say this is super quiet by any means. You would notice it going off in the basement. There's a slight smell of warm oil, which I guess is coming off the head, which is, if I put my hand on it, you can definitely feel some heat where the air is being compressed in the head there. It's about 1 mark below the red line. I'm just going to leave it for a minute. As the air cools in the tank, you'll probably get some pressure drop. The tank itself feels warm where the air has been compressed. So as it cools, the pressure will drop. I'm not quite sure at what point this compressor kicks back in. I have a feeling it'll be about the 6 bar mark. I'll give it a moment, then I'll plug in a line and see what happens. Oh, definitely got some pressure there. Okay, it caused a slight drop as it filled the line. The left hand side through this knob here allows you to control the pressure of the output line. So I'm going to switch these lines over and run off an air line off this one. Nice and loud. Okay, I'll put it up to 2 bar. Okay, we're just going to use an air line and see what happens. Okay, you see the other line dropping as the pressure drops down. This one is staying steady at 2 bars. Nice to have that control. My old one didn't have that level of control. I've got to find out when the compressor. Right, I'm going to try and find out where the level of airflow at what pressure will be maintained by the compressor itself. So I've set it to 3 bar, and we'll just see. That should drop to 2 when I hit the gas. And that was an anticlimax. Okay. The idea is to see if this stays constant when the compressor's running. Try it on the high pressure line and just see how quickly it dumps it and how quickly the compressor fails to keep up with it. Okay, power off. I think this is a dump valve. That'll be a yes then. Is that oil or is that water? So yeah, general impression so far. Obviously I haven't used it for anything serious yet, but I'm very pleased with it. The oil became a bit frothy when in use, but it seems to be clarifying out now and it's still above the level. The motor is warm to the touch down here, so obviously it's generating some heat, but generally the quality seems very good. So far, first impressions, very impressed with the SGS air compressor. The compressor I bought was from SGS, a British company. I suspect the compressor is generic, but it's a 50 litre, 9.6 cubic feet per minute, 2.5 horsepower, 50 Hz, 230 volts, yada yada yada. And I bought that from eBay and it was £119 and the shipping was free, so all good there.